Participate in all the segments and let your voice be heard. The best participation goes away with this radio. Okay, we have a beautiful radio, just like I told you, that you can win. So when you call in or send your SMS, don't forget to make your name and location very clear. Okay, you could be the lucky winner of this radio. And don't forget that this radio will be won every Saturday. So there's one radio that will become somebody's own every Saturday. So it's not just today. Next week, there's another radio. So if you don't win today, don't hang yourself. You can win next Saturday. Okay, now for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, in a typical People's Court session, we have 3 segments. Now, there's always the general petition, which is an observation and an appeal brought to the public notice for deliberation. And we need your voices. It might be necessary to remind you that the talk line opens many times. We open the talk lines as many times as possible. The moment we introduce this subject, the talk lines will be open so that you can air your views. In fact, your views are critical to the People's Court. Now, since you're the jury, your views are needed virtually at every interval. Immediately after the petition is read, your response will be needed. Okay, for those of you who will be sending SMS, send it to 0808 109 1094. For those of you who will be calling, you can use the number 0815 243 7346 0709 870-1163 or 0709-875-7854. We expect you to have your phone in your hand because the moment it drops, you are supposed to start calling. Okay? The court session will commence any moment from now. Now, then the presentation of each case, and immediately after the judge's remarks, the floor becomes open for the jury's judgment. And get used to seeing yourself as the jury. The moment we say jury, we're talking about you out there. All right, on this note, I hand over to the Honorable Court Advocate, Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo, the initiator and promoter of Movers Nigeria, to take us further in the People's Court proceedings of Saturday, the 20th day of July, 2013. Honorable Sir.
Fellow citizens, the People's Court is now in session. As your judge, forum advocate, I welcome you to this episode of the People's Court. The focus is a great philosophical saying by Abraham Lincoln, 1809 to 1865, and I quote, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves, and under God they cannot long enjoy peace," unquote. The People's Court is a reform platform for the purpose of giving voice to the poor, women, and those denied freedom, equality, and justice in our communities. This is our People's Court, a community-growing citizen forum for enhancing Nigerian democratic culture in an open society by popular participation of the common people in the promotion of due process, arbitration, and the rule of law. People's Court will reduce the culture of impunity, abuse of human rights, and corruption through the active participation of the people. Movers Nigeria believe that the citizens' constant complaints are the cheapest price the people pay for all the freedom, comfort, and security we enjoy. Our association, Movers Nigeria, is urging every Nigerian to have faith in democracy, because democracy is embedded in rule of law, due process, and justice for all. Without justice, democracy will not be attractive. Our families and institutions are on the decline due to our culture of impunity and lack of justice for the poor. You must understand the fact that the strength of your oppressor is proportional to your weakness in resisting him or her. You now have a free access to justice in the people's court, where the people will be the jury. So, if you are oppressed by our big man syndrome, institutions, or government agencies, take the matter to the people's court and let your voice be heard before your rights are buried. The costlies in today's proceeding, I have with me in the seat as a forum judge, a common Nigerian, an ordinary person who has been a participant in this program. We selected him because of his interests and loyalty to the program. And now I want to introduce the common Nigeria today, selected as a forum judge, who is not a lawyer, and he has no other distinguishing credential other than his integrity and belief in justice. The forum judge today, which any of you can be, is a man coming from Uzuwani, and in Iwolo to be precise. We selected him and wrote him, and he came. I am humble to present to you the forum judge, Ekweme Magnus Sunday. And I will use this privilege to ask him to make his opening remark. May it please you, Mr. Forum Judge.
Thank you, my forum judge. Injustice and impunity abound in our society today because the good ones have decided to fold their hands and watch the few bad eggs take over proceedings in politics, community rulership, and even in our churches. Should the good ones unite their resources together, that is their integrity, and other natural endowments from God, the few unrefined ones disturbing our society, we know that they don't have any other alternative than to repent and help in rebuilding our society. So, to me, joining Movers Nigeria and honoring this invitation is like a dream come true to participate in reclaiming our society for the good of humanity. Thank you, my forum judge.
With the greatest respect to the forum judge, we thank you for your opening statement. Fellow citizens, we are now moving to course list 1. The course list 1 is the general public petition on good governance. I urge every citizen to try as much as possible before Friday every week to send in a critical issue that agitates your mind on how we can make our community better, or issues that need for the public to know concerning the general good of our society. This morning, permit me that we have 2 questions in public petitions sent in by Movers Nigeria. Question number 1, which is now open for the jury, which is these listeners in this program, to critically analyze and participate, as follows. Question number 1. Having regards to the community reading of section 13 and 14 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, whether the National Assembly can rightly, pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerian citizens. That is the first question. I will take it again. Having regard to the community reading of section 13 and 14 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, whether the National Assembly can rightly, pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerian citizens. The second and final question that came in by way of petition by the same movers Nigeria is, do you support the bill proposed by the National Assembly giving right of life pension for their principal officers? For example, the Senate President and the Deputy, the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. I take the question again. Second question says, do you support the bill proposed by the National Assembly giving right of life pension for their principal officers, e.g., Senate President and Deputy, Speaker and Deputy? These are the two current questions that came in by way of petition. Is already in the People's Court Facebook page and in my blog, Ifeanyi Chukwu in Human Rights on Facebook. Distinguished citizens, we need to know where you stand on these two issues. I will now place this matter before the forum judge for his comment before we now call on the citizens who will make the final decision on this matter before we proceed further. Forum judge, sir.
Thank you. First of all, let us look into what is constitution. A constitution is a system of laws which formally states people's rights and duties, which are fundamental. Therefore, it needs wider consultation and inputs from public, civil societies, professional bodies, etc. On the other hand, bills involve fewer elected honorable members of National Assembly, as against popular participation required in constitution making. Therefore, collection of bills passed should never formulate new constitution for Nigerian citizens. National Assembly is not a warehouse for manufacturing of constitution. Rather, they should consult and involve people as far as constitution making is concerned, so that it will involve popular participation, and with time it will not fed up because of people did not identify with it. That is my stand on that.
On the first question?
Yes.
What's your stand on the second question?
So, on the second question, my honorable advocate, honestly speaking, the remuneration and allowances of the principal officers of the National Assembly is more than enough for them, their children, and even their children's children. Too much of accumulation and wealth gives room for mediocrity. For the sake of their children to value merits and maintain their family destiny or dynasty, they should avoid too much wealth. In all, as honorable members, they should also teach us how to be honorable by sacrificing self-gratification. Then prosperity will pay them. Example, Mandela in South Africa. When he was a president, he never went for what will favor him as he retires. But now, he is now in hospital, but the whole world is clamoring for his good. It's not what he made in the office that is making him this by gratification, that is making the whole world to be clamoring for his well-being. But the goodwill, the sacrifice he paid in for the service of his land. So if our honorable members should focus on what they should do for Nigeria and not what they will get from Nigeria, even when they retire, the people will take care of them. Thank you.
That is the verdict for the forum advocate on the two issues presented. Before the presenter will open the lines for the jury, as the advocate in this forum, I will seek your permission to refer you to the fundamental law of Nigerian Constitution, precisely in Section 13 and 14 respectively, the relevant sections therein, because that will help you to make up your mind for those of you who do not have your constitution nearby. Section 13 reads thus, and I quote, "It shall be the duty and responsibility of all organs of government and all authorities and persons exercising legislative, executive, or judicial powers to conform to, observe, and apply the provisions of this chapter of the Constitution." Unquote. I read it again. "It shall be the duty and responsibility of all organs of government and of all authorities and persons exercising executive, legislative, or judicial powers to conform to, observe, and apply the provisions of this chapter of this Constitution." Unquote. Section 14, sub 1. And I read, "The Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy and social justice." Subsection 2 of 14 stated thus, "It is hereby accordingly declared that A. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government through this Constitution derives all its powers and authority. The security and welfare of the people shall be the principal purpose of government." Sub C. "The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution." Unquote. Distinguished citizens, of particular importance is the provisions of this Constitution as captured in section sub 2 A, B, and C of the Constitution. I want to remind you that section sub 2 sub A of the Constitution says that the sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom government through this Constitution derives all its powers and authority. The participation by the people in their government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. Distinguished citizens, the question that has been sent in by petition by Movers Nigeria is whether the National Assembly can rightly, pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerians, considering the provisions in section 13 and 14 of the Constitution. The National Assembly of Nigeria, through the Senate, has just passed a bill that they will make and donate to Nigerians a new constitution. I feel that this is a constitutional breach, and they have now decided to undermine democracy and the rule of law and the Constitution they swore to protect. And I do not know what else. That this is a very serious crime against the state. This question is question number 1. The next question is that the National Assemblies have now, through the Senate, passed a bill that they will give their principal officers life pension. As a former advocate, I say no more and present this to the jury.
All right, in case you just joined us, this is People's Court on Solid 100.9. The talk lines are open and we need your views. And don't forget, we have 2 questions crying out for answers. They are begging for your answers. They are begging for your contribution. The studio lines once again are 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346, 0709-870-1163. And last but not the least, 0709 875-7854. Wherever you are, get the calls coming. The first question is, having regard to the community reading of sections 13 and 14 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, whether the National Assembly can rightly, pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerian citizens. And the second question is, do you support the bill proposed by the National Assembly giving right of life pension for their principal officers? Example, Senate President and Deputy, Speaker and Deputy. We need your input and get the calls coming. All right, I have a caller. Good morning. Please, can you turn down the volume of your radio?
Good morning.
Turn down the volume of your radio.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's clearer now. What's the name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I am Reverend Otichuku C. Obioha JP.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I want to, first of all, commend this program and particularly the moderator of this program, the way you're handling it.
Thank you, sir.
It is really far-reaching. I just want to go quickly to, and also want to thank the forum advocate for initiating this program, and also those who are supportive of what movers are doing.
Okay.
It's really opening our eyes. But let me first of all quickly go straight to make comment on the petition on good governance from movers. I want to say firstly that the National Assembly, from what the forum advocate have read out to us in section 13 of the Constitution, because you know, unfortunately, Nigerians don't have this Constitution. We don't read them. We don't even know what is contained in these constitution. And so the enlightenment from the forum advocate is actually opening our eyes. From what he has read, it means that before anything is done to the Constitution, which is the symbol of operation and authority to govern the people, before any change is done, it is not only the National Assembly or the legislative arm of government. The judiciary has to be participatory, the executive has to be participatory, and the people have to be participatory before a change is made. So what we are seeing now is that these guys are playing solo. The legislatures are arrogating to themselves the powers and the rights they do not have. When they assume or when they say we send them there, we don't even see them from year in year out, except when they are electionary period. You see them coming down, and once in a while they come around. The offices are messed up and they're full of cobwebs. Nobody sees anybody there, and they are all there in Abuja.
It's happening in Abuja.
So they now come to arrogate themselves by sending a bill and saying they want to review the Constitution. The legislature alone, not looking into section 13 that have been read to us. Because all I'm trying to say is that it is very, very unfortunate that Nigeria, we say we're experimenting democracy. So when will we grow? Because they are just there, solo. If what we have read here, the recommendation should have been that there should be some individuals or people, the legislature should bring in people, the judiciary should bring in people, the executive should bring in people, and every segment of people, either by local government or when you make it local government, through the time of the military when we are ruling this country, the North has more of the local government. So if you talk about local government representation, they will have more. Or else, if you talk about states, the Southeast is seriously disadvantaged in terms of state creation. So they will know, either they will go by region to bring representation again, so that this constitution can be amended. That is when it is going to be a true representation of the people's constitution. Whichever way. So then when they now go in there and say they are amending the constitution, it's a farce. They don't know what they're doing. And then this leads us to the second question, the second petition, coming to again to go into saying that they want to approve pension for themselves.
Life
I wonder
pension.
what is happening in Nigeria.
Life
When
pension.
you talk about, maybe we'll use it as their name, like we have the Arab Spring. We should have a Nigerian Spring. Let's not call it a revolution. Because if we call about a revolution, they will tell you are talking about they will be charged for treason. Nigeria needs a purge, a surgical operation. We need a Nigerian Spring because what they are doing there is not. There is too much money in this country. And somebody who comes from and being elected as a House of Rep member or a senator, he has one car. And by the time it is 1 year, they are all buying houses, they are all buying hotels. Because building hotels, not even building industries, that will benefit and employ people. It's a really unfortunate situation. There should be a Nigerian Spring. And what movers in the course of time should advocate. By the time people get aware, there should be a Nigerian Spring. These guys should get out from there. They are not representing us. They are so self-aggrandizing. They are acquiring wealth that even if you begin to calculate the money they have, you cannot enter into a calculator. 2 power 2 or power 3. Too much money.
Okay.
So the point is that because they are so much in doubt and so much engrossed with the acquisition of this wealth, that's what they are thinking about again to pension themselves.
Okay.
When those who are senior citizens are retired, they queue up, they die on the queues to be identified before their pensions are paid. And most times they are being old. So I will put a semicolon here because I'm still going to come to this program. But I want to say that number one, they are not qualified to review or amend our constitution. Number two, that this should be disregarded and discarded. The idea of a bill to make a recommendation for a pension.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That was Reverend Obioha. He is angry, and I think his anger is justified. Okay, the talk lines are still open. The talk lines are still open. 0815-960-9134. I have a caller here. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you. What's the name?
Nneka, fine. Calling from Machina.
Yeah, Mweke is a regular call-in participant. You're welcome to the show today.
All right, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, the great participant.
Hello.
Yeah, we're listening to you. Yeah, we're here. We're listening.
All right. Based on what the civil judge has read out for us, I want to contribute my part by saying that the Nigerian leaders, representatives, they have fake blood running in their veins. What I mean by fake blood is that their system has been corrupted. They have fake blood running in their system. Look at what if you based on what you said on the pension, life pension, you find out that we no longer have servant leaders. We have people who are there just to fill their pockets. That is why they already know that they are not doing well, and they want to acquire wealth that will make them all their life, and maybe by the time they leave office, they will continue with their security and everything because they already know that the system is not working. And then the other time, last week, within this week, the House voted for the local government having their separate account to be funded to the federal government. And we found out that 53 or 50, just more than instead of being voted it out. That means it's not going to work. Why is it not going to work? I want to, on my own view, I want to make you understand that many of them are people who are inspired to go back to die for governorship election. And there's no how they want to support that. And then now the local government is a grassroots government. And then you see that some of them who really want to might be, most of them might be people who have served as a governorship election candidate, or who does not have interest to die for election. And then people look what's happening in Anambra history. If you take it in Anambra, because I'm from Anambra, if you read the Anambra political history, you find out that people like they shut down the local government election and chairman until today is not voting. So they are trying to win it again. They are trying to conduct election because they believe that the local government will be funded from federal, and many other states are trying to power belongs to the people. If things like this are going on. So I want to say that I do not support the life pension. It is fraud. It does not help our democracy. And moreover, I also want to suggest it's going to be talking we are all trying to move in that forward. The reason we are trying to give out the people who are going to the tourists or the tourists or whatever you call it, the people who are going to win that. I also want to say if it's going to be possible, let there be a kind of award for that, this section or whatever. The award lasts forever and ever. 200 years is still there. Nigeria. It can destroy tomorrow because if award can also be included, I welcome the development. Over last week, there should be a last week radio for people who got last week. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nweke Fanyi, for that beautiful contribution. Okay, we're responding to the general petitions, and there are always late comers. Okay, let's take this call, and then I'll tell those who are coming late what we're talking about. Hello? Please turn down the volume of your radio.
I'm working away from the radio.
Okay, please do. Thank you.
Good morning.
Very good morning to you. What's your name, sir?
This is Mr. Lazarus calling from Auchi.
Okay, Mr. Lazarus from Auchi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So,
I don't really know the bonus protection because I'm just switching on my radio.
Okay, just drop the call. I will brief you on what it is all about.
All right.
You're welcome. Okay, now for those of you who are just tuning in, there are two petitions, two questions, and I'll read them out quickly. Having regard to the community reading of sections 13 and 14 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, whether the National Assembly can rightly, pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerian citizens? That's the first question. The second one reads, do you support the bill proposed by the National Assembly giving right of life pension for their principal officers such as Senate President and Deputy, Speaker and Deputy? Life pension, that's what we're talking about here. So get the calls coming, 0815-960-9134 or 0815-243-7346. All right, any moment from now we will be moving away from the general petitions. Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Charles from
Your name is what? Speak up.
Charles.
Okay, Charles, where are you calling from? Okay, go ahead, Ebonyi State. Go ahead and make your contributions.
Well, considering the life pension issue, not anything wrong with it.
You have to speak up so we can hear you loud and clear.
I say considering the life pension issue of life pension for our principal officer in the nation. Nothing wrong with it. As long as they are doing well. Because even the ex-president, ex-president such offer, everything is not matter of state, does not allow because once they are elected, they are entitled to a certain amount of money, and the legislature has approved it. Without issue or whether they are qualified to make laws, we elected them. You understand? We cannot make law for us. The judiciary, the executive to come and say, the rest of the legislature to do. We elected them on our own. What is happening is that after the election, it is nation with the right people who go there and present us. I'm not coming to say that they are not qualified to make to amend our constitution. The laws are there. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay. You're saying that they are qualified to for life pension?
Yes. They are qualified. But I said, so the time when this design came up with so much board, former civilian elected president.
Okay.
They are giving us concession. I think about 300,000 naira. That's what they say. You understand? We need a president or a speaker.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't see anything wrong with it. As long as they are doing their job effectively and efficiently,
Okay, what's your comment on this first question?
Hello.
What's your comment on the first question? You treated the issue of life pension. What's your comment on whether the National Assembly can, by virtue of a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for Nigerian citizens? Hello? Okay, I think I lost him. All right, in case you're out there, we are in the general petition and you can make your voice to be heard. Just pick up your phones and make that call. Hello? Please, can you turn down the volume of your radio? Okay. What's the name? Okay, the man from Auchi. Okay, go ahead.
The contribution is especially of those people we are talking about. This man is not without any pressure because the volunteers came what we supposed to use is taking care of Nigeria.
Okay.
When we talking of life pressure, they never without anything like pressure. I'm still on the role of their tenant, they just go away from that thing.
Okay, you
when
mean...
I was thinking that the National Assembly would have given good to their constitution of Nigeria. I was thinking of if they will bring down the age as from at least 40 years down. When they go to come down and receive Nigeria, spend our money the way they like, they're even talking about pensioning them.
Okay.
All these things, I don't really know what to do. Nigeria is already a corrupt place.
Okay, okay, what's your view about the first question that was asked? Whether the National Assembly... Yeah, whether the National Assembly... pass a bill that's in pursuant to a bill passed, formulate a new constitution for the Nigerian citizen.
Normally, as long as they are there are people that make that constitution. The things are changing every day. The way they run and modernizing, the way things like that. I think that is not really been a matter. They can be able to do such things.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling in all the way from Auchi. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Still the People's Court and your views count. That's one of the things that Movers Nigeria wants you to believe and begin to act on. Your views count. And if any politician tells you that your views don't count, the way they go about it sometimes is that your views count when they need you to vote, or they want to make the election look credible. They need you to vote. They want you to look like you're part of it. But then in the participation proper, your views may not count, but here your views count. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. What's the name?
Good morning. Ofemizim calling from Enugu.
What's the name?
Ofemizim.
Okay, I still cannot get a name, but I got...
Ofemism. Ofemizim.
Okay, go ahead. You're welcome to People's Court.
All right. I want to say bravo to the organizers of this very awesome program.
Thank you, sir.
It is my submission at first instance that yes, it is propounded from the beginning that before any amendment is made in the Constitution, that the general contribution of the populace of a state or the country is so the National Assembly should not just dabble into any bill and pass any or do whatsoever without a due consultation to the agreement, either suggestion and whatsoever of the whole country as it is embedded in the law. That is for the first. And the second, I am saying the remuneration which is accorded the National Assembly and whatsoever is enough.
Okay.
For them going beyond that, seeking for life pension, I tag them as being goosey and greedy. In fact, they are not philanthropists. They would have used their own allocations or whatsoever they have gotten to fund some programs in the Nigerian states for those who are less privileged.
Okay.
But they are so self-centered. They are egocentric. So I say this to squash out that. That is my own submission. I am saying no.
All right. Thank you for making your voice heard today. I have this SMS too, but from one person. It said, as regards the Constitution amendment based on the passage of the bill, I don't think all that is necessary and I don't support it. That's Tochi from Maryland. I have another one. I think the second one tackles the other issue. That bill goes a long way to confirm the suspicions of Nigerians that people are just in power for their personal financial interest. I don't think we should be talking about that at a time like this. There are millions of Nigerians languishing in abject poverty. I don't support that bill. Tochi from Maryland. All right, you heard it. Okay. Life pension for just the principal speakers. Why not for all of us? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
You say good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you. What's your name?
I'm Precious from Ugu.
Oh, Auntie Precious, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Mr. Fine, good morning, sir.
Good morning. The court is in session, so I
Can you hear me?
yes, the court is now in session, so I can't be
I want
speaking.
to say that for the constitutional amendment of a thing, I think they are wrong because I think there should be a kind of opinion pool for that.
Okay.
Every Nigerian should be a participant to
Should
that.
be carried
They don't
along.
just go and
Okay.
formulate something and bring it out for us to assimilate. Then come to the second one. Why wouldn't they look for life pension when they have approved underage marriage and all that? So they will go and acquire more wives and responsibilities and look for ways to make Nigerians pay for it in the future. I'm not happy about that at all. They are just there to fill their pockets and all that.
It's okay to be angry.
I'm very sad about that.
It's okay to be angry. All right, Auntie Precious, thank you so much for being part of the show. If you're angry, then express it. That's why it's there. Okay, don't bottle it up. And then sometimes, you let it out on your wife or in your... this is a place where you can pour out your anger, say it the way you feel, and you'll go scot-free. Nobody will do anything to you. Don't forget the talk lines are still open, 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. I have a text, and this one says, the likes of the people who are passing that kind of bill for review of the Constitution are like the legislators that fought during the tenure of the Speaker Ete and the Malayas and the Port Harcourt incidents. Reverend O.C. Obio. The man is still angry. 0815-960-9134. 0815-243-7346. What happens is that, revolution in its bloody dimension becomes the only option when people refuse mental revolution. We can change the way we think. We can change the way we do things. And that day is coming when Nigerians say, we don't want this anymore. All right. For those of you who want to be part of what we're doing, whether on air and off air, you can visit the website www.moversnigeria.com. You can also go to our Facebook page, People's Court 247. That's a Facebook page. And then you can send us an email at peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. And don't forget that Movers Nigeria's office is located at number 1 Ogoja Street off Nneka Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited. White House bus stop, Trans-Ekulu, Enugu. All right, we'll take a short break and we will continue in just a while. Transformation begins with a new consciousness, new thoughts, new perspectives, a brand new way of looking at Nigeria, and the indispensable role you have to play to actualize the lofty and noble dreams of our founding fathers. We are Nigerians for life. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward. For a moment, I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward.
Nigeria hasn't always justified the faith of its people, but there comes a time when you are pushed to the wall and there's nowhere to go but up.
If we just decide in our hearts that we want to believe in Nigeria and we want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
This is our dream, and a new Nigeria is that dream that we so much seek and desire.
The destiny of Nigeria is in our hands. We are the country. The country is us.
We are Nigeria.
We are that turning point generation. We are Nigeria. We are the future.
Welcome back. It's still the People's Court, powered by the Movement of Voice for Democracy, also known as Movers Nigeria. And we are still in the first segment, which is the general petitions. And for those of you who want your voices to be heard, this is still an opportunity for you. And you can take advantage by calling in or by sending an SMS. If you're sending an SMS, you should send it to 0808-109-1094. You can drop your comment on our Facebook page, People's Court 247. And you can also call these lines and then speak out. 0815-960-9134 or 0815-243-7346. We need your comment. Now, don't forget that in the People's Court, the people represents the jury. What that means is that it is you that has the final say. Okay, we've had it up our neck, where we don't have a say. People decide what happens to us, and they don't care about whether we like it or not. It's a new day. It's a new era in the history of social justice in Nigeria. We are going full circle, and we're finally taking back the power that belongs to us. 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346. These are the lines to call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to the People's Court.
Thank you. I am Ejike. I am calling from Emene.
Ezekiel, you're welcome.
I want to respond to the second question about the senators and how they plan duping us.
Okay, go ahead.
Seriously, it's not a laughing matter at all.
Okay.
And I wish those that are Christians among them to go to the book of Nehemiah chapter 5 to go and verify what it says.
What does it say?
That's purely an example of how a good leader should behave. A leader is supposed to be a servant.
Okay.
Not a selfish one like all of them.
Okay.
It's a pity that we are so educated to treat their people instead of helping their people.
Okay.
It's certainly, I don't support anything they are doing because it's not helping the society. Seriously, it's not bringing joy at all.
Okay.
For learned men, according to lawyers, to think anything of that nature and oppose it on people. Not even minding the pain we are in. The allowances they are being paid is much.
Okay.
Just like you open this court this morning for everybody to contribute. Senators can be run that, as in, that house can be run that way. Nobody will be paid. Only little money will be paid to radio stations and everybody will contribute how Nigeria will move forward. So, number one, I'm sorry, sometimes if you use some negative words on them, you people will say it's not good. They are supposed to, all of them, they are thieves in my own terms.
Okay.
They beat it, and I'm not happy about it.
Will you want
to help us in this country? They can go and read the book of Nehemiah chapter 5 and know exactly.
Will you want to respond to this?
Supposed to be governed.
What's your view about the first petition? Okay, he's already gone. Okay, all those who are public servants should read the book of Jeremiah chapter 5. Okay, that's okay. We're supposed to have 7 leaders. 0815-960-9134 or 0815-243-7346. These are the lines to reach us with. If you're sending a text, send it to 0808-109-1094. 109-1094. Okay, I have a caller here. Hello. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What about my name?
What?
From my State.
Okay.
Practicing a flexible constitution whereby 2 or 3 people can just sit together and amend the constitution. We are practicing this constitution where it calls for all the sectors.
Okay. Hello?
Then in terms of life pension, if they are doing that for everybody, I think it's good. But for the fact that this minimum wage issue is still hanging, nothing has been done over it, and they are talking about life pension, it's too appalling. Let them just do something about it. That's my contribution.
Thank you, sir. All right, he just raised a very pertinent issue. In some states, they have not been able to implement the minimum wage. I think minimum wage should be 18,000 naira. They've not been able to implement that, and they want life pension, that is life security. Okay, the talk lines are still open, and it will be open till 10:15 when we move into something else. So if you have something to say, this is the best time to do that. And that means we're 9 minutes away from that. Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you. What's the name?
Yeah, my name is Anthony Walker.
Anthony, you're welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
I like what you people are doing over there concerning the state of our nation.
Okay.
Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
The most important thing is that people says that there is nothing the Lord does without the plans to destroy people. Now, this nation is a very sick nation, and God has to come in by this time. They reveal that Nigeria is in the hand of God, but the people have refused to go the path of God.
Okay.
That is why we are seeing all these problems confronting this nation, Nigeria. This is not the government that will sanitize this country. This is not the government that will give people food. The Obasanjo government failed. The IDB government failed. The Abacha government failed. The Abubakar government failed. Sheleko government failed. Yaradua government failed. Jonathan government is failing too. Please, tell my people the light of the world will take over this nation. There's nobody born of faith that can do it for Nigeria, because Nigeria is a very sick nation full of demonic forces. We are looking for the righteous. Wherever they are, let them to march up now. Jesus is going to reign supreme in this country, Nigeria. He's going to step into the terrain. He's going to flush all the forces of darkness that have been tormenting our people in this country. There's nothing happening in this nation again. All is sick. Nigeria has faced big mediation. Even the religious leaders have done more evil than what we expected. When Christ came to the world, the three wise men came and saw the star, and they told Herod what they should not allow Herod to see this glory, because this glory is going to shine. Nigeria has seen the glory in this country and refused to follow the path of God. That is the problem. Nobody can change this country. They have been saying that democracy will not solve this country. It's only Jesus Christ that can save this country, the power of the Holy Spirit and anointing power to give people the food and shelter they needed. Okay. All these people are selfless, selfish governors, selfish presidents. They can never do it for you people. The men and women of this country will rise up and seek for the star. There is a star born in Nigeria, which they have been concealing. And this star is the only one that can save the people. We can't continue dying because of selfish people. We can't continue dying because of evil people.
So what do we do?
The Boko Haram is tormenting this nation. It's all an act of God. Anything happening in Nigeria is an act of God.
How do we introduce
this nation?
Hello, sir. How do we introduce the act of God? Because I've not seen God before, and you've not seen him. So how do we bring God into the human terrain to be able to get these things done? That's what we're talking about.
Now, when you read Deuteronomy 28, it says, if you obey my commandments, I will bless the nation, I will bless the people. When you disobey the commandments from 15 downward to 30, there's going to be a curse. There's a curse in this country. People have been speaking from the righteous part of it. Nobody wants to listen. Go out and see how churches are being opened everywhere, from street to street. No one speaks the heart of the mind of God. This is a shame for a nation called Nigeria. I want to tell you, if you doubt it, go out and bring all the prophets in Nigeria. I will show you.
Uh-oh, we lost him. All right, thank you for that beautiful contribution. We're coming from all the angles. We're coming from a political angle, judicial angle, and even spiritual angle. And when we put all that together, we will get a better Nigeria. Okay, now it's okay to get angry, but let's be very careful that we don't sound pessimistic. Okay, because we are doing this because we believe that God, even God, has an agenda for Nigeria. And we all are actors in this game, in this drama that will unfold. Okay, 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what's the name of where you're calling from?
The name is Henry.
Okay, Henry, you're welcome to the People's Court.
Thank you so much. This is a wonderful program.
Thank you, sir.
And I thank the organizers of this program. How I wish this contributions we are making this morning will be so very clear to those of them in the House of Assembly. I think it will go a long way to solving this problem.
Okay.
This nation is actually blessed, but the dubious minds that we have are only, enriching their pockets and making wealth for them, so their children's children. Only God knows how many generations they want to eat their money, So, as regards to the questions put this morning, I think the House of Assembly, on any cause, amend constitution that will only suit their own, dubious minds. I think country has suffered, and should, be to a level that people are being given the require. Okay, instance from history, we've got the Biafran War, and now we are going through the Boko Haram crisis. I think this is just a turning point. We should open our eyes and know that this is not leading us anywhere.
Okay.
Just like one of the callers that called in now, I believe God has a plan for this nation, but nobody will understand that fact. I don't think Nigeria is going to go forward. Okay. Then to the second question about making life, is it
life pension?
Only God knows if they want to go to heaven with it. I don't know. If they should go ahead like this, then that means a youth can even, come up one day and decide that he or she wants to the entire world, because they get, so dubious and they don't want wealth for themselves. So I don't think it is a rightful, decision to take by them.
Okay.
So I really applaud you guys for what you're doing. I just hope and wish that these comments that we are making this morning and the ones to be made by other people will get to their ears and them to make corrections. They should stop building hotels. That is not what we need here in this country. This country needs transformation. They only go out building hotels, making themselves high, and the poor are getting poorer every day. And they are just, I don't know. God should just help us in this country. So that is my concern. I thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you so much for that beautiful contribution. Okay, still the
Hello?
I said thank you for that beautiful contribution.
Thank you so much, brother.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, you're welcome to People's Court. You have a view. Let your voice be heard. Okay, any moment from now we'll be moving away. Okay, there's a caller on the line. I'll take this. This should be the last call for this segment. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, wait.
You said you're calling from Ababa.
I had the
Student, so to say.
What did you say is your name?
I said I'm Ife Diora.
Ife Diora. You're welcome to the People's Court.
I want to personally applaud the Movers Nigeria for this initiative.
Okay.
First of all, I deemed it I must follow this program today for having accosted Movers Nigeria, and I thought I think they are doing a nice work in the policy. Certainly, according to section, that of the section read out, 13 and 14, under chapter 2 and fundamental objectives of state policy. We owing to the little knowledge I have in that very constitution, I'm aware that the state provision here, in law we say is non-justiciable. They are mere state objectives and directive state policies of states, in that they are a sort of an ideology or an objective set aside for the state. For Nigeria being a growing economy, those are the mere aspirations that Nigeria is meant to work towards. So it is not a must at this particular time that all those objectives must be put in place. We are still growing. So we believe that all these things must be put in place in questions of time. Okay. Secondly, as regards to the bill passed, so the legislators we are aware, they are the law-making body of Nigeria, and they are put to make laws for Nigeria. But that is not to say that they pass unjust laws which are repugnant to natural justice. We are talking about the policy where people and the electorate and the mass are dying of poverty. Even the so-called educated elite, the civil servants. Enugu State, for instance, in Enugu State here, the teachers are still talking about their TSS not implemented. They are talking about that the allocation to the state is not sufficient to furnish those requirements. and the so-called, let me call them bourgeoisies of Nigerian economy are busy trying to put across maybe a life pension for the so-called big men, whereas the poor masses are dying. Then passing such bills, that is not the function. I think they should look at the functions of the legislature. Let them take into consideration whether the legislators can pass bills that favors their own sentiments. Because if this is done, it means that they can pass anything, and they can even pass bills that they should retain the office till time having, which I don't even know. They can stay there till maybe they become monarchs or all these things. So I think I've made my contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, maybe one of these days they'll pass the bill that once you get into the office, you don't leave the office anymore. Okay, and that's what we're saying. You have to frown at it. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, very good morning to you.
Morning.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Moses. I'm calling from Leja in Osoka.
Okay, Leja. You're welcome.
I've been following the discussions, and I just want to chip in my own contribution.
Okay.
And regarding the issue on the table, the problem for Nigeria is we have continuously proposed. And if we look at the consumer development since independence and even before independence, you can hear or get it from here that none of those attempts by democratic government succeeded. And the problem in Nigeria is that we are not unfortunate. The last military government that carried over to this dispensation, if the regime, I mean the regime of Abacha, if the regime is sincere and have the people in mind, it is the regime that would have given Nigeria a good constitution as a takeoff. And because they are, have their own selfishness, and the constitution they gave for us that the 1999 constitution is somehow upside down in every aspect. And since I said that the problem of Nigeria is a continuous composition, there is no less in us, we not have advantage in everything as regards to the constitution we are using now. Let me take for instance the state creation. Everybody knows that the state is supposed to.
We lost.
That's a simple shout by the feminist governor to the Ike. The Ike shamefully attempting to resurrect. Now, how can we just say that Parliament is trying to amend the constitution? When the one second that they have that voting of the that can never in the last time is being amended.
All right. So, what is your take on the two questions that we?
The second question on the life whatever for the Parliament.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am taking it as a unserious issue, and the voting is frivolous.
Okay.
So I don't take it serious, and.
All right. We are sorry we lost you there. Okay. We are finally moving away from that segment. Don't forget that at your leisure you can visit the website www.moversnigeria.com, and you can visit our Facebook page on People's Court, People's Court 247. And then you can send an email to peoplescourt@moversnigeria.org. And don't also forget that Movers Nigeria office is located at number 1 Ogoja Street off Nikki Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Trans Ekulu, Enugu. We will take a short break, and when we come back, we will continue in just a while. I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward. Welcome back. It's still the People's Court, and for those of you who just joined us, the general petition is over. We're moving over to something else, and I want to hand over to the forum advocate.
Citizens, the court now is in general discussions and interactions and questions. The court list for the second part is now open. Read the questions and text messages for answers.
Okay, thank you. The first question is from Desmond in Independence Layout. He's asking, what is the motive of People's Courts?
The motive of People's Court is community service, family values, and education of the people. That is the motive of the People's Court.
Okay. The second one is from Angel. She's in GRA. She's asking, can my case be resolved without broadcasting on the radio?
Yes, Angel. Your case can be resolved by not coming to court. We do that when the parties will elect to come to our office, or we can come to your home and sit down and resolve this matter. What we are trying to do is that we want to encourage good neighborliness. We want to encourage friendliness. We want to encourage people rebuilding relationship. And that is part of our Igbo tradition in administration of justice through arbitration. It is encouraged. The only reason why these petitions are sent across for us to be announced, for people to know that the People's Court is an opportunity for access to justice at no cost to the poor.
Okay, this one is from Nneka in Enugu. She's asking, she said, I seriously don't believe you people don't have sponsors. What do you have to say?
My dear Nneka, we are looking for people like you to come on board and spend some of this money you waste in your telephone and help your community and add your voice. Democracy is about participation by the citizens. So the sponsorship is by friends and members in Movers Nigeria, where there's no foreign sponsors. We are not looking for people who will come to own us. We want the people to take liberty and seek their freedom.
Okay. This one is from Peter in Oka. Peter said, what is the gain of the advocate and those working for People's Courts?
The gain of the advocate is that he has a passion for excellence and justice.
Okay. This one is from Okechuku in Imo State. He said, please, what is the position of the man owing the driver? Has he paid?
Yes. Okay. The man owing the driver has paid, and the driver has collected the check, and he has called me on the phone personally and promised to pay the last tranche of 20,000 naira this week. That's to the claimant, and that is progress.
This one is from Chichi in Abacha in Anambra. He's saying, my name is...
What happened to the man?
Okay.
This one is from Chichi in Anambra. He said, my name is Chidebere. Please, I'm inviting you to Anambra to settle my family problem.
We are very willing to come as friends of Chichi, but the only way we can do that is if you send us a written invitation,
okay,
so that we can know that you have consented to our visit. Very soon we will be heard in radio station in Anambra State, because Anambra also needs People's Court.
This one is from Mary Nabakaliki. Said, please, People's Court, my husband wants to divorce me because of another woman. He wants to divorce me because of another woman he wants to marry. Please, can you people help me settle the issues?
Yes, there is no issue that cannot be settled. It is only when the two parties will agree for us to come and settle, because we cannot force your husband that he will continue to marry you, supposing you are not loving enough to him. So this is an issue of the two of you, because that contract is between the two of you.
Okay.
And I don't see how we will come and impose you on him. It is a signal for you to try and be a woman. You can win the man over.
Okay.
This from Margaret in Enugu. Said, Mr. Okonkwo, may God preserve you and the good work you're doing, so that evil in this country will be exposed.
Thank you, and I constantly need this type of prayer.
This one is from Mma in Enugu. He said, People's Court Advocate, may God bless you and your good work.
Thank you. I appreciate your effort, but I also want you to come and join and give service to humanity, and let us improve our life and rebuild our family values.
This one is from Zion in Transekuli. He said, do you people take percentage from the money you recover?
No, we are not a debt collector. All we are trying to do is to give people opportunity to seek redress without being violent or breaking the law. And the poor people, if a big man decides to descend on you, there is a voice somewhere. There is nobody that we cannot discuss his issue in People's Court. It is for us to know that the family values and community relationship borders on good neighborliness and good conduct. We cannot legislate how people behave, but we can, in a way, regulate before they now violate your rights. Is People's Court is powered by Mover, which is an economic and rights organization. You can join or you can work with us.
The final one is from Lazarus in Imo State. He's saying, please, sir, I sent my petition through SMS. I have not received any reply. What else will I do?
We have been advising people that we don't deal with petitions through SMS. You must send your petition in a written form so that the other party will take notice and now reply.
Okay.
So you must, all the petitions we get, we give a minimum of 14 days to enable us send it by courier to the person you are now claiming against, so that he will make inputs, and that is the only way we can function. Okay. The petitions we read on the air is when you don't send the address of the person who is the person that will defend the petition.
Okay, right here at Movers Nigeria, we pay attention to details. These are legal things, and then we need all the documents to support whatever claims that you are making. And so you don't send your petition via SMS.
Citizens, this is the end of part 2 for interactions and text messages. I now open the vista for the hearing of claims in this court. The only claim we have in today's session is a claim made by a petitioner that never supplied us the address of the defendant. So that petition is not ripe for hearing. But for purposes that we have not suppressed your petition, we will not now come and bring it to the forum, and then the forum judge and the people will hear the petition, and maybe if the petitioner is not satisfied, he will now come and furnish us with the correct address of the defendant so that we can contact him. We give 14 days. The next edition will have plenty of petitions that will mature by the next edition. But for this purpose, we only have to now give you the facts of this case, where the petitioner did not give us the address of the person he or she is claiming against. The claim or the case, this is case number 9 that is now right for hearing today, because there is no fixed address of the defendant. So we cannot really give a fair judgment in this matter by the people. But I must present it to the people rather than continue keeping the petition, and the petitioner will feel that we have not acted on it. The claimant is Mrs. Nneka Ogu. Wherever she is, she will know that this petition has now been pronounced, and he is talking against or petitioning against Mr. and Mrs. Simeon Ogbodo. The petitioner did not give the address, but he complained and wrote and just dumped it in our office through a courier. The facts of the claim is thus. My name is Mrs. Nneka Ogu, a widow. My husband died in a ghastly motor accident in June 2011. And since then, life has been very difficult for me and my 7 children. Because of the hardship, I gave my daughter Chisom Ogu, who is 8 years old, to Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo as a house help and to help me train her in school. On 25th day of May, being Saturday, a car dropped my daughter in front of our yard and zoomed off. She came in with serious bruises all over her body. I was shocked and I asked her who dropped her. She said it was her madam, that she said she should go and die in her mother's house. I asked her what she did. She said their neighbor gave her biscuit. I doubted it because of the degree of bruises. I took her back to Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo, this address he never gave, in New Haven. The woman, on seeing me, started shouting if I had come to fight her in her house. I said no, that I only came to find out what my daughter did that caused this type of beating. She said I should never cross-examine her, that I should ask my daughter if they have been starving her. If not, why should she collect something from her enemy? I asked her if my daughter have done such before or before the beating. She asked me to leave her house, that I don't have such right to question her. I cried and left with my daughter. 2 days later, she became seriously sick, that only God saved her life. I borrowed money to pay for her treatment and hospital bill. The claim against Mr. and Mrs. Simeon Ogbodo, which no address was sent to us so that we can hear their own part of the story, is thus: that Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo should refund me the money I borrowed for my daughter's treatment, which is 3,500 naira. That is all we could make out of this petition. But I have been restrained by my duty as an advocate, that instead of waiting and writing back to the complainant, Nneka Ogu, who just gave us that she lives in New Haven without giving us even her home particulars, I will pass this case to the forum judge for his comment before the jury, which is the public, will now entertain it so that we can round up. That is the only case that is ripe for hearing in today's session. My forum judge, sir,
thank
your
you.
verdict on this matter.
Thank you, my advocate. If you look in this case, the child of 8 years, to me, is too young to even know who is her madam's enemy. Number one. Number two, for somebody to give you her child means that that person trusted you, that you take good care of her. But in this case now, the madam has breached the trust placed on her by the mother of the child. And secondly, I think child molestation in this country is an offense liable and punishable by law. This Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo, with what we have at hand now, has molested the child of 8 years who is too tender. So to me, it's not even question of paying 3,500, but the Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo should be charged for molesting a child, and then whatever is the medical bill should be added on it for them to pay back. Thank you, my advocate.
The foreign judge, this court must also be guided by the claim before us. This is not a technical court, but the people's court. She asked for 3,500 naira, and the foreign judge has added that we need to make a complaint to people who are responsible for protection of the right of the child.
Okay.
And I will leave that up to the jury.
Okay. All right. The people out there, you represent the jury. And if you have a comment, of course you should have a comment. The number to call is 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346. Tell us exactly what you think about this situation and what should be done. Hello? Please, can you turn down the volume of your radio? Good morning. You're welcome to the People's Court.
Yeah, I'm Reverend O.C. Obioha.
Okay.
Again, JP.
Okay.
Let me repeat again that, remind us that God gave us 2 ears to hear from two sides.
Okay.
This woman has just made a report, a petition. We need to really, it's unfortunate she didn't put the
address.
The woman's address for people, for mobiles to do the usual thing they normally would do.
Okay.
Because they're very detailed. But having said that, I also want to subscribe to the suggestion the last speakers gave. We
mean the forum judge?
We have organizations that take care of child's abuse. I won't be talking about going to the police, because very soon movers or people's court will flood them with series of cases that it will be too numerous for them to handle. So issues like this are advised. Apart from that, they look at what the claimant is claiming. They should be able to pass on each of these cases to the appropriate authorities so that they can relieve people's court and the movers to be able to entertain more of this, because this kind of issue, these issues are almost of everyday occurrence.
Okay.
They are happening because of hunger, because of what people are very heartless too. So, but we cannot really give a ruling or a judgment against this other Mrs. Ogu or whoever.
Okay.
Until we hear from them. But what they will do, because actually that woman have reported this for fear of intimidation or fear of being done one thing or the other. That's why maybe she's not been able to give the address of the person, the culprit.
Okay.
So, but if not so, we would have loved the people's court to be furnished with the address so that they can help her. Also, not only just going to adjudicate or arbitrate between her and those other people.
Okay.
They can as well take the address of those people and report to the appropriate authorities. That's why people's court, thank God, have the office at number 1 Okocha Street.
Okay, thank you, sir.
In Transekulu. So that people can go in there and then send their reports, give particular address, genuine address. They can help raise issues because the advocate is well known, knowledgeable. Even though he's not a lawyer, he is very knowledgeable about the law and constitution. He knows that which case he can transfer to appropriate authorities to be dealing with, so that they can have more time for people to report more cases.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So thank you very much. So in as much as we're not giving judgment, we cannot until we hear from the other side, but also people's court will help, will be of very much value to pick up the address of those people. That woman can even pick people's court, go close to the residence, point to the place, and disappear. The most can help. Go to that house, get information, and possibly pass the issue.
All right, thank you, sir. So we can take inputs from other people. All right, I have another caller on the line. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, what's the name of where you calling from? Okay, we lost that. I have an SMS here, and it's from Blessing Uche in Nsukka, and she says that the amount that is involved shows you the amount of poverty, the level of poverty that is obtainable in the country. And apart from passing the judgment, I think we should make some donations for this woman to help her survive with her 7 children. Okay, that's a beautiful contribution. Hello? Can you turn down the volume of your radio? Please stop the volume of your radio.
Hello.
Okay, good morning.
This is Mr. Lazarus.
Okay, Mr. Lazarus, you're welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You see, my contribution and opinion to this issue.
Okay.
The level of poverty in Nigeria is too high.
Okay, please go straight to your comment so we can take from other people.
The level of the poverty in this country is too high. It's one of the major reasons why we see people through all those things.
Okay.
Can imagine a child of 8 years old which is dead.
Sir, please.
Has never made anything.
All right, what do we do?
My contribution is that we should just we should advise the woman to forget about that person that she was given a child. Let us at least think of how we can be able to help her. How we can be able to assist her to take care of her children.
Okay.
So that is where I think is my opinion.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, please, if you call in right now, please go straight to the point so that other people can have an opportunity to make their comments. Hello?
Good day, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome to the People's Court.
I'm Stanley Okafor. I'm calling from Imo State.
Okay, Stanley Okafor from Imo State. What do you think we should do in the case of this widow?
Sorry, I want to make an inquiry. I want to know if the Court Court, if they operate only for any state, or are they operating, maybe, can one send his own
case
from Imo State?
Yeah.
Yes, you're hearing us, so you can bring your, we can operate up to Imo State. But the only thing is that very soon we also have a radio program in Imo State.
Okay.
So that we need people like you so that the court can function. We started from Enugu and we are working within the with the audience coverage of the radio station that is assisting and working with us.
Okay. And don't forget, you don't send your cases through SMS.
Yes.
You have to properly file in your cases
so that the other party can be contacted.
Yes. So I think you should visit www.moversnigeria.org and then get all the information you need to be able to properly file your case. Okay, we take this one. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you. What's the name?
I'm okay, fine.
Okay, you're welcome back, sir.
Alright, I really quickly go straight to the point. I think Mr. and Mrs. Ogbodo have done very wrong.
Okay.
They have done badly. If someone trusted you and was able to give you a child to train or to assist you, and then after beating her up, you brought her a responsible thing, the woman who is the owner of the child. It's an impunity. It's very bad. It makes the big man small man syndrome we're talking about. And then you find out that this is not she complains it's a transfer of aggression. She has a problem with somebody else and then she transfers it to the child. The child agrees. That isn't aware that children are suffering. And then because it's not her own child, she has to he or she has to pick her up and then he or she up and drop her and drop the person. That is very wrong. And then one woman is the question is too far for what the abuse that have been done to her child. But I don't want to say much about this thing until it doesn't get from the because you never can tell, anything can happen. Anyone that can do this, a person that can do this kind of thing to another person can still go up and do anything they want to do. So that is what my own contribution.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nneka. All right, that's the last caller for today. I will still hand over to the forum advocate so that we can get the verdicts for the cases. I'd like you to imagine a place where fairness reigns supreme, a place where everyone has access to affordable justice and thus equal before the law, where no sacred bulls can trample on the rights of the common man and get away with it. That place is the People's Court. The People's Court is a radio court aimed at soliciting the timely participation of all in the enthronement and deepening of democracy and the fight against impunity, corruption, and abuse of human rights. Join Movers Nigeria. Move Nigeria forward. All right. Don't forget that by the time it is 11 o'clock, someone will be a proud owner of a radio set. Okay, that may not mean so much for those of you who have plenty of money, but someone will gladly walk away with that. Okay, we want to ask a question. And we want callers to just, within the next 5 minutes, to call in to comment on this question. And this question is simple. The question is, what do we do to move Movers Nigeria forward? Okay, that's the simple question. It is not as technical as you expected it to be, but as simple as it is. Now, we are doing something, but I believe that there are other things that we can do to do more than what we're already doing. The talk lines are still open, 0815-960-9134 or 0815-243-7346. Get the calls coming. Okay, already have a caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Reverend Obio. I want to say, number one, to give more time for people.
Give more time to people.
I think that movers should be able to at this point in time, maybe account numbers.
Okay.
People, if it's 1 naira or 2 naira, however, pay into the account to support.
Okay.
Everything, a project like this month, we can't just leave maybe the claim or whatever. The advocate doesn't want. He says he doesn't want people. Everything is free. Nothing is free in this world. So
even in Freetown,
just indicate the account numbers. People can log in some money for support the program.
All right.
Move forward, because it's talking about radio, opening a radio station, other radio stations, and all that.
All right, thank you, sir, Reverend. All right, when you're dealing with a reverend, you're dealing with somebody who is in the game of talking. Okay, so thank you, Reverend Obioha, and for your information. He was the forum judge last week. Do I have more callers or do I close up? Hello? Hello? Okay, I think that's the much we can take for today. Okay, forum advocate, it's your bits right now.
Citizens will now move to the finale of the People's Court, which is the verdict for today's proceedings. The two issues on the public table that was presented for comments, 14 people supported question number 1.
Okay.
That the National Assembly have no powers to now arrogate to themselves donating a new constitution for us. They voted and said no, that they cannot do that. 2 people supported them.
Okay.
That they can, since we are still in transition in a democracy, that they can go on. And the second question, 14 people voted that the National Assembly have no power to make themselves life pensioners. Only 1 person said yes, that they are qualified to make such. The verdict of the People's Court for today's deliberation is in overwhelming no for the 2 questions represented to the public, and that is the judgment of the People's Court. Citizens, the presentation of our supporting item for those who were able to make calls to promote democracy by their committed listenership to this program. The radio will go to the gentlemen that have made themselves to be very visible in today's program. And those gentlemen, the person that made the most contribution in this program is Reverend Okechukwu Obioha.
Okay.
And he is getting a radio.
Okay.
That radio will be collected at the office of Movers Nigeria from Monday morning. If you cannot come, you can delegate in writing to anybody that can come on your behalf. And the person we are giving a radio for his wonderful contribution in the 2 editions are Mr. Laz, that comes from Auchi.
Okay.
He has consistently contributed immensely in this program. He is a positive thinker and a Democrat. He is also getting a radio.
Okay.
And our dear friend Nneka Ifeanyi, who is also a runner-up and has consistently demanded that for his past contribution that he will get a radio, we are also donating a radio to you. So we are giving away 3 radios at this special outing. So gentlemen and ladies, this is a special presentation. You can collect this radio by delegation of your person in writing, so that we can deliver. We don't want to expend more money sending it to you by courier, so that we are an organization run by friends, so we want to minimize our overhead. So these radios are in our office. You can collect them. You can give a person a note and sign it, so that give your telephone number and sign your signal, because we will identify you by the telephone number you use to call us, so that we call you and you can collect those things. This distinguished gentleman, Reverend Okechukwu Obioha, for flying colors, he won his own merit. Okay. He is the most active contributor in this People's Court session today. And Laz, calling from Auchi, and the distinguished Ifeanyi, you have your radios, and congratulations.
Thank you.
The People's Court shall now rise. So the presenter, you can now close the session.
All right, thank you, and thank you for joining us for another beautiful episode of the People's Court. People's Court is a radio program that comes to you every Saturday 9 to 11 a.m. You can visit our website www.moversnigeria.com. Okay, you can also go to Facebook and drop your comment. If you drop it today, we will read it next Saturday. People's Court 247. Send us an email, People's Court at moversnigeria.org. And don't forget, if you're around the coal city, to visit the office at number 1 Ogbodo Street, off Nneka Lake Road, by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transekulu. Thank you for joining us, and see you next Saturday.
Please enter your password.
Yes, you're on the radio now, and we have to deliver.
Come down.
Follow me.
Get ready to have fun.
The greatest thing since sliced bread. Said shorty got kills. Point 'em out, let's go.
100.9. Oh man,
we rock.